Shia. The city of Basra, the province of Basra, is a Shia majority town. They have been immune from sectarian war. They have been immune from the war against ISIS. Their anger is at their very Shia leaders, the political parties that have been in government since 2005, on one hand, but the anger is by extension toward Iran, because Iran has been the protector of Shia-led domination governance in Iraq on one hand, but on the other, there's also a direct anger at Iran for limiting the supply of rivers and fresh water into Shatt al-Arab, and therefore increasing the salination of the potable water for the people of Basra. So that the Basrawis are very angry at their government, but also angry at Iran, directly and by extension.
Do you think, just finally, this can be contained, the simmering tensions? I know that there's been emergency sessions held in the Iraqi parliament over what's been going on in Basra, but when you start tying all these things together, do you think it can be contained somehow?
I think the only way to contain this is for the Iraqi politicians, for the new parliament, to find its backbone and be responsible and be accountable. And unfortunately, these two sessions that we have seen in the past, we're not seeing the Iraqi political elite rising up to the challenge. It's still, their loyalty is still to their political parties. Their loyalty is still to getting a seat and getting the perks. I mean, you saw, for example, the first session of the parliament actually started with a breach of the constitution by the new parliamentarians, 75% of which are actually new members, coming in, taking the vow to they were sworn in on one hand, and then when it was time to actually take action on the constitutional mandate of electing a Speaker of Parliament, they all walked away until the political leaders were to make a decision. So on the one hand, you have a very angry street that demands change, and then you have a political elite that's not rising up to the challenge and sticking to their old guns and their old ways. So unless one of these two change, unless either the people are going to give up, which there are no indications of them giving up on the protest and asking for fresh water and electricity, then this is probably only headed toward more escalation. And Iran is basically showing the Iraqi polity and the Iraqi people that it's willing to use whatever means at its disposal.
Bilal Wahab, pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us today. Right, here's what's coming up for you on this news hour. The tragedy of civilians in war zones as seen through the lens of a photographer. And in sports, remember this guy, Diego Maradona, is landing in Mexico now, to prove his managerial career is not over.